Okay, hello everyone. I think we're live now, so let me just get started. 配信がスタートしました。皆さんこんばんは。映像と音声は問題ありませんでしょうか。ぜひチャットで一言見えてますとか、こんにちはとかコメントしていただけると助かります。はい、それでは2024年初のカフェトーク英語シンポジウム開始したいと思います。本日配信を担当するアセと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。今日はジェレミー先生とパシ先生が南アフリカのいろいろなテーマについて教えてくれます。まずジェレミー先生はアパルトヘイトの歴史について、教えてくれます。ちょっと深刻なテーマになるので、見る人によってはちょっと不安になるような、画像も少し含まれているかもしれませんのでご了承ください。続いてパシ先生は南アフリカのさまざまな言語と、食文化について教えてくれます。キャンペーンページにもありましたが、本日はライブの、配信中にコメントをくれる方の中から当選で、5名様に、500ポイントのプレゼントをするので、ぜひポイントの当選するためにもいろいろコメントや先生へのご意見、ご質問をお送りください。日本語でも英語でもどちらの言語でもコメントが投稿できるのでお願いします。And I will say the same in English once more. Hello everyone, my name is Esther from Cafetalk. I hope you can hear and see me well. So if the audio and video and everything is all right for you, please feel free to leave a quick comment in the chat to let us know. And today I'm joined by Jeremy and Pashi, who will tell us a little bit about their home country of South Africa. And Jeremy will speak about the history of apartheid. And as this is quite a bit of a serious topic, please be aware that there might be some images that some viewers might find a little bit of unsettling. And following his presentation, Pashi will tell us a little bit about the various languages and the food in South Africa. You might have seen already on the campaign page that today we will select 5 students to receive 500 points from Cafetalk as a gift. So please make sure to leave a comment in the chat box to ask questions to the tutors and let us know if you like the presentations, and you might win some points at the same time. So you can comment in either Japanese or English. And without further ado, I would say we get started. So Jeremy, if you're ready, please feel free to start with your presentation.
Okay.
If we can put up the slides for Jeremy, then we can get started.
There we go. Hello, everyone. My presentation is entitled, This is South Africa, the Miracle of Democracy, because for a country that was teetering on the edge of civil war, achieving democracy certainly was a miracle. Let's get going. South Africa is home to some 60 million people, and there are 11 official languages and a diverse range of cultures in South Africa. South Africa is also blessed with natural beauty. Many places like this in South Africa that are simply wonderful to visit and to see. South Africa is home to abundant wildlife, and of course, this is the big 5: the elephant, the leopard, the buffalo, the rhino, and of course, the lion. There are places, many places to see in South Africa. There's Cape Town with Table Mountain in the background. And as you can see, just at the top there, there's a thin layer of cloud that sits like a tablecloth on the top of what is now called Table Mountain. Then we get the potholes formed over millions of years in Bergslag, a typical Ndebele village, or the golden beaches of South Africa. And of course, many things to do, from watching Zulu culture in action to bungee jumping at the Twin Towers in Soweto, a trip to the Cape Winelands, or a cable car ride up and down Table Mountain. So there are plenty of things to do. But while we're proud of our country and its natural beauty, there's something else that we're proud of. And that is the day that we got our dignity back. In the first democratic elections held in South Africa's history in April 1994. And I say we got our dignity back because for decades, South Africa had been what they call a pariah state, an outcast, shunned by the world community because of the policy of apartheid, declared by the United Nations to be a crime against humanity. And Nelson Mandela became the first democratically elected president of South Africa. And of course, for the majority of the country, millions of South Africans won their freedom back. After a long struggle for freedom, I say long because apartheid in South Africa, while there had been segregation for centuries in South Africa, the policy of apartheid ran from 1948 through until 1994. And so it was nearly 50 years of tyranny and oppression in South Africa. The use of brute force to crush any opposition to the policies of the apartheid government. The experience, the humiliation that millions of Black South Africans experienced from the pettiness of having to use separate walkways, separate paths, separate entrances, because God forbid that they, black and white, should rub shoulders. And then, of course, the left-hand photo, which I find the best, caution, beware of natives, like a sign you would put up on your fence saying, beware of the dogs, because in reality, blacks and dogs, blacks were treated like dogs. They were of little value. And of course, the oppression. In South Africa, the use of terror by the police to put a stranglehold on opposition, the use of dogs, again, that idea of treating black people like dogs. And of course, the irony. I love this. Black nannies being put in charge of taking care of the children of their oppressors. And literally, many a black nanny raised generations of South Africa. Yet, if you see in the top left-hand picture, not even able to sit on the same bench as their charges. And then the tragedy of apartheid, one of the tragedies. Young children, especially in the rural areas, don't see color. A friend is a friend. And yet, as they grow up, many of white South Africans were taught to hate and despise black South Africans. And of course, the experience of losing their human rights, like in the bottom picture, the Sharpeville massacre, in which many people were killed, the right to life. Let's have a look at some of the other human rights. The right to human dignity. In this picture, in the prison system in South Africa, a black man is forced to dance naked while the white boss looks on. And it just emphasizes the attitude that the white people felt, we're in charge and we'll put the black people in their places. And they stripped them of their dignity. The right to life. Again, the Sharpeville massacre in 1961, where many people were shot in the back, fleeing from the police at an anti-pass demonstration. Black lives were cheap back then. And of course, decent housing. The South African cities were all white, and blacks were forced to live on the outskirts of the outside of the white cities. Little housing, and forced to live in shanty towns with no water, with no electricity, with no ablution facilities. Not a pleasant experience. And then this is a lovely one, the right to equality. This says, this lift is for Europeans only. The service lift, in other words, like the back entrance, the service lift is provided for tradesmen, non-Europeans, prams, and dogs. And notice again that non-Europeans, the black people of South Africa, in the same category as dogs. And of course, the right to proper education. The Bantu Education Act of 1964 was an inferior system of education designed to keep black people, or to make them little more than servants of the whites, serving the needs of the white people in South Africa. They could not aspire to higher paying jobs because those were reserved for white people. But thanks to the sacrificial efforts of the men and women of South Africa, and I say sacrificial, in other words, that there were millions of people who sacrificed their lives to achieve the dream of freedom and democracy. Here we see the Rivonia trialists, including Nelson Mandela, who were put on trial for treason for plotting to overthrow the government by force. And of course, the role of women. Here is an example of the March of the Women against passes which allowed black people to be in the white cities. And here we see the representatives of the four main population groups in South Africa: Rahima Musa, an Indian lady; Lillian Ngoyi, a black lady; Helen Joseph, a white lady; and Sophie Williams, a colored lady. The four main population groups of South Africa, showing that black and white and colored and Indian could coexist, could work together without any problems, which defied the whole policy of segregation, of keeping blacks and whites separate. And of course, not only was there the internal struggle, but there was the help of the international anti-apartheid movement that took place, and where South Africa was isolated through cultural boycotts, economic boycotts, sanctions against South Africa, which, together with the internal struggle, helped bring the National Party and the ANC together at the negotiation table. So it was on the 27th of April 1994 that a new day dawned for South Africa, as people of all races came together, people that had once lived in fear and hatred of one another, standing in the same election queues without any problems, like it was the most natural thing in the world. And they came together to vote, many millions, for the first time, and to celebrate the miracle of democracy. Thank you. If you've got any questions about apartheid, I have a lesson on Cafetalk entitled "How Freedom Came to South Africa." I also have a lesson of how to discover the added value of free talk, where one can also just chat about what we've seen today. But there's a series of lessons about the road to freedom and the road to democracy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. That was really, really interesting and important to learn about. I think, especially for people who haven't heard this story before. Yeah, and we got
Yes.
quite a lot of comments from students, and I'm going to start off with just some praise for you. We got, which was the teacher's voice is very nice. It sounds like the voice of a documentary program announcer. So it was very, very nice to listen to, the students thought. So I thought I start with this one. And
That's great. Thank you very much.
yeah. And yeah, students saying it's unimaginable for me to live under apartheid. I'm glad that people fought for their freedom and won. And
Exactly.
yeah, and also a famous other freedom fighter who said people should not be judged by the color of the skin, but by the content of their character, is a comment from another student.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though this is, a different country, I believe America and Martin Luther King Jr. said this.
Yes,
So
I think
a
so.
different struggle,
Yes.
but also a very
Yes.
similar struggle.
Similar.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Yeah, and yeah, let's get Pesci in this conversation as well. That's nice. Yeah, and we have a question about the current state of things. Marina is asking, how are cities now after 30 years? Do people mix in neighborhoods, or is there still a difference due to income? So feel free to both chime into this if you want to make a comment about this.
I can start off, or
Yeah.
today there are no sort of official. I mean, cities are supposedly, multiracial. Anyone can buy a house in anywhere. But unfortunately, with the legacy of apartheid, there still exist the black townships, and which is still one might call a blight on South Africa, where people still, even 30 years after democracy, still live in poverty and appalling conditions.
Yes, that's true. After 30 years, I think it's better. It's better than before, especially because now we are not all, but we are getting along. We are getting along better than the apartheid times, and black and whites, they can actually go to the same school. We
Absolutely.
can actually
Yeah.
be in the same room and have a decent conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
better. It's much better. It's much better than what our mothers and our fathers, our grandmothers tell us about the apartheid.
Exactly. Yeah. I think certainly things have come a long way since the days of apartheid, but there's still a long way to go for us to achieve real freedom. And I think it would be foolish to imagine that all of a sudden that hatred of 50 years or centuries or whatever is suddenly wiped out. But as Pashi said, people are getting along these days far better than they ever did under apartheid, simply because they weren't allowed to get along with each other.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Also,
good to hear.
also thanks to our music, and also I think rugby also is the one that's getting us together. It's
Yes,
bringing us together, because when there is a rugby world, what do you call it? A
the
rugby
World
world
Cup.
something cup. Yes, that is where you see the unity of South Africa, and also
Exactly.
our music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, also. also our music. When
That's
our
great.
music, especially when we used to have kwaito. Remember when we used to have a category kwaito in our
Yeah.
music where Mendoza was still alive, and then there was Nkalakata playing. You know what people, they love the Nkalakata song and everything. Yeah, there are actually a couple of things that are bringing us together as South Africans.
Yeah, that's
Indeed.
wonderful to hear.
Sport, I think, and music are unifiers, are the two great unifiers in the country, because everyone gets behind, whether it's Bafana in the AFCON Cup, or whether it's the rugby team in the World Cup, or things like that. And I remember even a concert at a place called Ellis Park in the 1980s, where blacks and whites, thousands of them, attended a music concert at that rugby stadium, and it just said, why we can get on, we can coexist, we can live together, and yet we weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
The students also commenting, sport and music bring people together. That's true. And I didn't
Absolutely.
know that rugby is big in South Africa.
Oh,
Yeah.
very much so. And because it is now, a multiracial sport. So it's not people in the past often used to, whether they were sort of black or coloured, would support teams like New Zealand or anyone playing against South Africa because the team was all white. Now we're multiracial, and the whole country gets together behind the team. It's wonderful. And the celebrations.
The celebrations, we have fan parks where everyone gets there, and then we all watch the game. Like in different provinces, there's like they put up like fan parks and everything, and then black, whites, colored Indians, we go there and then we go watch rugby.
That's wonderful. I have another comment from you, Saito. I'm not sure if that's easy to answer in just a few words, but they're asking, please talk about the security situation, and why do you think South Africa has a more developed economy than other African countries? So that's, I would say, a complicated question, but maybe you have some insight on this topic.
Sorry, the first part was the.
Please talk about the security situation.
Oh, security, yes. Look, South Africa has a reputation of, sort of being supposedly insecure. For there have been tourists that have been killed and so on. But I think they're isolated incidents. Yes, one has to be sensible. One has to be careful. You don't want to go, walking at 12 o'clock at night, on your own, as I think you wouldn't do necessarily anywhere. But yes, there is crime. There is, the usual sort of danger that one finds. But I don't think it's any different to what you'd find in New York or London or any other, other major cities. But just be sensible.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've got something to add to that.
Yeah, especially when it comes to crime. Yeah. As you know, Jeremy, that crime in South Africa it's actually bad. So just for one to be safe, just stay at home. Stay at home, and obviously you must also have security in your house. Don't just let anyone come inside your house, because nowadays there's people who are disguising a person can just come with a police officer uniform, and then they will tell you that I'm a police officer, so I'm here to do what and what and what, and then you let them in your house because you thinking that's a police person, that's a policeman or a
Oh, okay.
policewoman, but
Yeah, so
actually they
to
are there to look at your place, and then after looking at your place, like to scout, that's what we call it, to scout. They scout your place, and then the next thing you know, there are
okay,
people
so to
robbing you.
just to be careful in general, I would say is
I
sensible.
think
Yeah.
so. You know, if
Yeah.
you're a tourist, remain with your party. You know, don't go off wandering on your own, because you can get into places that are not unsavory, but again, not different to any other major cities. So
Yeah.
be sensible.
Yeah.
So come
And
on in. South Africa is waiting for you.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I hope a lot of the students will take this as an opportunity to plan a trip.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry.
can actually come, and then me and Jeremy will be their tour guides.
Yeah,
Indeed.
wonderful. The second part of the student's question was, why do you think South Africa has a more developed economy than other African countries? I'm not sure if that's easy to answer.
I'm not sure that South Africa anymore is the leading economy. It was. I don't really know the reason for that, but economically, South Africa had developed possibly as a result of colonialism and things like that had established structures and infrastructure. But then again, one must remember that the Afrikaner was determined to, to build his, promised land into something fantastic. So money was channeled into infrastructure and, industry and all that kind of thing, specifically, for the benefit of the whites, because blacks were, cheap labor for that. So, to a very real sense, the economy of South Africa has been built on the backs of black people, but I think there are countries in Africa that now have sort of like larger countries, but larger countries. Listen to me, larger economies than South Africa. But South Africa, particularly in the Southern African region, is a powerhouse. As you've seen, South Africa led the petition to the the International Court of Justice regarding
Yes.
Palestine. So South Africa has become an important player, but economically, I think it has its roots in colonialism, and certainly the relentless drive of the Afrikaner, particularly to build and prosper, in this promised land of theirs.
Yeah. And I have a few more questions from students, but I thought it might be nice if we can first hear Patty's presentation, and then I'm going to ask you the remaining questions that we have, and probably we're going to get some new ones. So yeah, if you're ready, maybe we can switch over to your slides.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. As I was introduced, my name is Pesci, and today I'm going to be talking about South African languages and food. Let's explore the rich cultural diversity. Where is South Africa located? So South Africa is located on the southern tip of Africa. So it's at the bottom at the bottom of Africa. So Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique are borders of South Africa. Okay, cultural diversity. The Rainbow Nation, as everyone knows that South Africa is known as the Rainbow Nation. And the reason why South Africa is known as the Rainbow Nation, it's because of we have different cultures, we've got different religions, different food, different languages. So because also we have different races, now that is why we call South Africa the Rainbow Nation. Embracing cultural diversity is essential for promoting unity and acceptance in society. So, as I was saying when we were discussing with Jeremy and Astrid, there are a lot of things that bring South Africa together, and one of them is our love for rugby, which is the sports that was for white people. But now, as the country progresses, black people also they had love for the sports, and then we got to learn about the sports and everything. So rugby, as I know, it was the white sports, and then because we are in South Africa, it has become a culture, and it's a culture that we are following to bring the country together. On to the next slide, I'm going to get on the topic of languages. So in South Africa, we have 12 official languages. Why I'm saying we have 12 official languages, it's because it was last year, July, sign language was added to the 11 languages that we had previously. So our 12 official languages is English, Afrikaans, isiZulu, isiXhosa, Sesotho, Setswana, Sepedi, Xitsonga, Siswati, Tshivenda, isiNdebele, and obviously the sign language. So English and Afrikaans are obviously for the white people, and the rest of these languages up until the 11th one, which is isiNdebele, are for the black people, which are called the Bantu people. So the Zulu people, oh, let me just talk about the language. The way I put it in the order, it's the way it is. So English is the most spoken language, obviously, in the whole world, and Afrikaans is the second one in South Africa, isiZulu and isiXhosa. So these four languages are the dominating languages in South Africa. So wherever you go in South Africa, especially isiZulu, even white people, we know that they can speak isiZulu. You can get a white person who speaks isiZulu fluently than a black person who is obviously not a Zulu. So moving on to the next one, these are the languages by region. So here I have put the languages that are most spoken in each province, because in South Africa we have 9 provinces. So Gauteng, which is Johannesburg, most people are speaking English, Afrikaans, Zulu, and Sepedi. Obviously, because in every province we've got white people, there's always going to be English, and also because English is also being taught in schools. English is what they call it, the lingua franca, so it's the dominating language in the world. And moving on to Limpopo, we have English, Sepedi, Tsonga, and Venda. So in Limpopo, these 3 languages, Sepedi, Tsonga, and Venda, are the languages that come from there in Limpopo. And in the Northwest, we have English, Setswana, and Afrikaans. The Tswana people, they come from Botswana. But because Botswana is nearer to the Northwest, then we get Tswana people in the Northwest, especially in Rustenburg. That is where I stay. And we also have in Taung and Mafikeng. In Mpumalanga, the dominating African language is Isindebele, Swati, and Zulu. Yes, and then in the Free State, that's where we get the Sesotho speaking people. And also in Free State, we have African speaking people who are blacks, and we also have the Xhosa speaking people, because Sesotho, Xhosa, and Africans, in a way, they have a relationship, because sometimes you will get that a person is Xhosa, but they speak Sesotho and they speak Afrikaans. So Xhosa, Sotho, and Afrikaans, black people, they have a relationship. And KwaZulu-Natal, that is where you get Zulu-speaking people. So as you can see, it's different from other provinces. It only has English and Zulu, because, as I said, Zulu is the language that most people communicate in, and it comes from here. And in the Eastern Cape, we have English, Xhosa, and Afrikaans. Yeah, because as I said, the Sotho and the Xhosas and the Afrikaans black people, they have some sort of a relationship. If I can just mention that, I have a friend who is she is originally Xhosa, but she speaks Sesotho most of the time. So that's where I got my information from, that the Xhosa people, the Sotho people, and the Africans speaking black people, they have a relationship, like they have some sort of a relationship. That is, I think she's told me something about the Eastern Cape and the Free State. I don't know. They've got I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe I'll explain it further when it comes to the comments. I'm sorry about that. And in the Western Cape, we have English, Afrikaans, and Xhosa as well. Yeah, this is the slide that I prepared for the how to greet and how to say thank you in our official languages. So in Afrikaans, when you want to greet someone, you say hello. If you can see the difference between Afrikaans and English. In Afrikaans, we say hello, and in English we say hello, and in Afrikaans we say hallo. And in isiNdebele we say lochani. In isiXhosa we say molo. In Sepedi we say dumela. So when it comes to Sepedi, Setswana, and Sesotho, it's almost the same language. So that's why they have the same way of greeting a person. In Sepedi, Setswana, and Sesotho, we all say dumela when we say hello to you. And in isiZulu, we say sawubona. In Xitsonga, we say avuxeni. So don't be mistaken the X, and then you're gonna say avuxeni. No, it's avuxeni. And in Shivenda, we say nda. And in Siswati, we also say sawubona, just like in isiZulu. And how to say thank you in the 11 official languages. In Afrikaans, we say dankie. In isiNdebele, we say ngiyabonga. So isiNdebele and Siswati and isiZulu, we all say ngiyabonga. In isiXhosa, we say enkosi. In Sepedi, Sesotho, and Setswana, we say ke a leboga. So now the difference between Sesotho and Setswana and Sepedi's thank you is that in Sepedi and Setswana we say ke a leboga, and in Sesotho we say ke a leboha with an H, not the G. And in Sitsonga we say Ndzakhenza. In Sivenda we say Ndolibua. And obviously in English we say thank you. So now let's get on to South African food. So here I have South African starch. So in South Africa we eat pap. And pap is made out of corn. So we take the corn and we make it like fine. We grind it until it's fine, and then we make pap with it. So we have like 3 different types of pap. On this one, this is like the Zulu pap. This Zulu pap, they call it uputu. So uputu is cooked differently from the other paps. In the putu, you put a small amount of water in a pot, and then you let it boil, and then you put a lot of maize meal, which is the mealies that we grind, and you let it simmer for a while. Then you come and stir it together so that it can be crusty. Like when you hold it like this, then it will pour out. It's not stiff. And then this pap here, it's a different one. This one, you put a lot of water and you put little mealie meal, which is maize meal, or the grind mealies. And then we also have semp. So semp is it's also meal. It's also corn, but this one it's not grinded. So this one is how can I say it? This semp is, they just, how can I say it? It's not grinded. It's just that it was I'm sorry about that, but I don't even know how to explain this one. So let's just move on to the next one. Here we have ting yamabele. So ting yamabele is made out of sorghum. It's made out of sorghum, and you can also eat it in the morning as soft porridge, and you can also eat it just like pap. You can also eat it with your veggies and your meat. You can also you can also eat it with your sugar and butter and milk. So in South Africa, we eat chicken feet. We call it maotwana in Setswana, and in isiZulu we call it manina. So after the chicken is slaughtered, at times they package it in different ways. They package the feet together, they package the heads together, they package the insides together. So we clean the chicken feet, and we make stew with it. The ingredients, how to cook, the recipe how to cook the chicken feet, you fry the onion, and then you put your tomatoes, and then you put your chicken feet, and then you let it boil, and it becomes a stew. And we also have cow heel. So the cow heel is also cooked like the chicken feet. And we also have masonja. So masonja are mostly eaten in Limpopo. The Limpopo people are the ones who eat masonja a lot. So this masonja, as you can see, are worms. They are some type of worms that you find in the trees in Limpopo. We also have malamugodu. So malamugodu is the intestines, the animal's intestines. So in this case, we have the cow intestines. Especially when there is a ritual or there's a ceremony somewhere, they take out the intestines and they clean them and they cut them into pieces and cook it. We also have a tradition in South Africa where most places sell malamugodu on Mondays, and they call it Mugodu Monday. And another thing that brings South Africa together is braai. So in other countries, they call braai, they call it barbecue. So here in South Africa, we call it braai. It's just meat that is cooked on a braai stand. We call it here in South Africa, we call it a braai stand. So this is also one of the food that brings South Africa together. Most of the time we have braais when there is a celebration, a birthday party, when there is a wedding, or when people are graduating. Like the way we celebrate these ceremonies, we braai. And we also have magwinya, also known as fat cook. So the recipe for fat cooks, you take flour and you put your sugar and your salt and your yeast, and then you let it ferment. After you have combined it, after you've mixed it with water, warm water, you let it ferment, and then after that you just make small balls and then you fry it. You deep fry it. And this one is mostly eaten in the mornings as breakfast. And then almost every corner that you pass in South Africa, you will find a lady selling magwinya in the morning. And we also have dikuku. So now dikuku are also known as scones. Most of the time dikuku are made in ceremonies like funerals and weddings. So in funerals, when they make dikuku, they make it mostly for the people who are going to, in the villages, there are men who are being called dipiri. Those people are the ones who are going to dig up the grave. So those people, when they come from the grave, they must always have something to eat. So they make them dikuku with tea. Yeah, thank you so much. That was the end of my slide.
Okay, thank you so much. Then now I'm really hungry. It's dinner time over here now. So this looked really, really good just now. Thank you. Yeah, and we have several comments from the students. Let me go to the top. Okay. So yeah, first of all, Makiko is saying, "Oh, Rainbow Nation! I heard this for the first time. Thank you for telling me about that." So yeah, some students have never heard that South Africa has this name, but that's really nice. And so many languages. How many do you speak?
Yeah. So obviously English will be the first one, and then I am originally a Pedi speaking person, and then I grew up with the Setswana speaking people, and I am married to a Zulu person, so I speak 4 official languages in South Africa.
Wow. Yeah, same
I
question to
must.
you, Jeremy.
Um, I think, to go back to sort of my topic, I think one of the tragedies of apartheid was that white people were taught English and Afrikaans, and language is certainly is like much easier to learn, from childhood,
Yeah.
etc., etc. And I sort of personally, as part of the older generation, if you want to call that, we were never taught, black languages, because obviously, I mean, that just wouldn't be done, you know. And so, unfortunately, English and Afrikaans, I've tried on occasions, to learn the odd words, the greetings or things, but
Yeah.
my brain, sort of struggles to
Yeah.
absorb these things. So
Connects
English
a
and
little bit
Afrikaans,
to
but that's what I admire about sort of black people particularly. I mean, some can speak. Well, I mean, Pashi is sort of a good example, but multiple languages,
yeah.
and unfortunately, white people can't. And I don't think it's necessarily also a case of they don't want to, but nowadays some of the black languages are being taught in schools,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Connects a little
I
bit
think
to
white
the
people
next
lost out.
question.
Yeah.
Pashi, maybe you can also chime in about this one. A student is asking, are the languages very different? In Japan, there are regional dialects, but is it possible? But it's possible to understand each other. Are the people of other languages of all the different ones very different? For example, the words for flute, music, personality, and everything.
No, actually, most of South African languages are almost the same, like Setswana, Sepedi, and Sesotho. If you are, there are some of the words that are exactly the same. Like I said, Dumela is
Yeah.
one of the words, and isiXhosa, isiZulu, and isiNdebele and isiSwati are also almost the same. Which one
So that
is
makes it a
different? I
little bit
think
easier then.
yes. So
Yeah.
if you are Zulu, it's easy for you to learn isiNdebele and isiXhosa.
Yeah. One student was also saying the XH sound for them sounds a little bit difficult to pronounce. So it's nice to hear you
Yeah,
say it because it feels
the
difficult to say
clicking
for me as
sound.
well. Yeah. And two students were also kind of amongst each other talking in chat that it's really wonderful that sign language is an official language now as well. And yeah, I
Yes,
think,
sign language was made official last year in July.
does that mean it's kind of
So
mandatory to have sign language, for example, in official broadcasts or official documents, that there's some accommodation there for sign language?
yes, especially in the broadcast, especially in the broadcast, especially when you are watching TV or anything that has got to do with news. You'll see
Yeah.
they always have a little person there who's always doing the sign language and everything. And also, something that I learned is that they are going to place sign language teachers in schools so that
Oh,
even
that's
us
great.
people who are not signing, we will know. And also the people who are deaf or mute can also be able to go to the normal schools.
Yeah, that's great. And I think every country should do that. That sounds really, really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
One student also asked about the map that you showed for the different regions where the languages are spoken, and asks, there are white parts in the map. Are those different countries inside of South Africa?
No, the white parts on top, they are outside South Africa. So that other part that you saw, the big part that you saw that is highlighted, it's
Yeah.
Africa. And then the small
Okay.
one that is highlighted at the bottom, that is South Africa.
I think there was like a little part in the middle of your map that of South Africa that was also white. Was that a different country that is kind of surrounded by South Africa, or is that something else?
No, maybe that's something else. But South Africa
Okay.
is the one at the bottom that is highlighted in the darker color. That is
Okay.
South Africa. There
I
shouldn't
see.
be nothing in the middle.
Okay.
Just chip in there. There
course.
is the independent Republic of Lesotho, which is a landlocked country.
Yes.
And there also is the independent kingdom of Swaziland.
Okay. Yeah.
So there, Lesotho, which is close to the borders on the Free State and whatever, it was a former British colony and achieved independence, I think, in 1964.
Okay, I see.
So
Thank you.
there are some land countries in South Africa.
I'm at the food comments now, and one student is saying, I wonder if I can find South African recipes online. It looks very delicious, but it's hard to pronounce and difficult to order in a restaurant. So yeah, for some of these, it might be some practice involved. And I want to go and try. I never ate chicken feet. And one student is asking, is Magwinya sweet? I hope I didn't butcher the name too much here. Is Magwinya a sweet dish?
It's actually savory.
Oh, okay.
It's between it's between sweet and salty.
I see. Okay. And another student also saying, I am hungry too. So everybody got hungry now. And maybe just as the last questions before you talk about your lessons a little bit. One student was asking for artists that you recommend, and one student was asking for tourist spots that you recommend. Just in general in South Africa.
Again, I've listened to the last part, and the first was
artists. So I think either musical artists, either musical artists or just
she
in
might
general.
be sort of like better at that. You know, I've sort of like listened to sort of international stuff, although there's a few songs, South African songs that I really like, but I'm mainly a international sort of stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s, etc. So current artists I'm not up to date with.
Maybe you can tell us some tourist spots instead that you would recommend to go
tourism spots. Obviously, I think Cape Town is certainly ranks there. Not only, I mean, are there sort of beautiful beaches. There are there's Cape Town itself is just a beautiful city, and there's obviously Table Mountain, and then situated, I mean, very close by is obviously the winelands of South Africa, where there are many a lot of the sort of major wine producers, and people go on tours of the different wine estates. So the tour of the winelands is definitely is sort of a must. I suppose if you're a drinker or if you like wine, and of course the Drakensberg. The Drakensberg has many resorts, in the mountain with hiking trails and all that kind of thing. Unfortunately, South Africa is not known for its snow, so there are no ski resorts, which I know. told
Yeah.
that in Japan there are several many ski resorts, and
Yeah.
so yeah, and of course the Kruger National Park is the main one of the main tourist attractions. Obviously to see the wildlife.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Pesci, do you have any?
those are just sort of some of them.
Pesci, do you have any artists or tourist spots you'd like to leave the students with to check out?
Yeah, the artists in South Africa, we've got different music genres. So the one that is popular now, the genre is amapiano. So amapiano, we have DJ Maporisa. He's big in that genre. We have DJ Black Coffee. I'm sure everyone knows DJ Black Coffee. You don't know?
I don't,
Jeremy?
to be honest, but I will look it up for sure.
Yeah, but he is South African, but now he's moved. He's overseas now.
Oh, great! Yeah.
We have hip hop. Under hip hop, we have AKA, but he passed on. We also have Ricky Rick, who also passed on. We've got different genres. So if you specify which genre you want, then we've got Kwaito, we've got amapiano, we have hip hop, we've got so we've got different genres.
Okay. Yeah, that's also something I think students can definitely come chat to you guys about in your lessons if they, want to hear any more specifics about any of these topics. So since it's also our time almost up, I would say if you want to quickly introduce your lessons on Cafetalk to the students, then we can say goodbye in the end. So maybe if we just go in the same order, Jeremy, you can tell us a little bit about your lessons.
Okay.
Oops.
As I say, the apartheid series about the the road to freedom. I mean, that's also, I suppose, available sort of in audio form if you should choose, something like the free talk. I love having conversations with people, and talking about those kind of things. One can ask questions and all kinds of things. So the series. Otherwise, I have a sort of a series of short articles and short articles on the different aspects of under apartheid, and the various sort of campaigns that led ultimately to the freedom. And then there's also a very good series. It's called, sort of Off to Class, which is one of the sort of like lesson providers. And they provide not only, sort of curriculum, a complete curriculum for beginners, for intermediate, for advanced, etc. So there's a complete course for people, but they also have smaller, sort of items, speaking activities, listening activities, and things like that. It's a very good quality of lesson, which are on offer, and one would simply have to just sort of like log into, perhaps on your cell phone, log into off to class or Cafetalk and use your laptop or something for the lesson. But it's quite easy to do do that. And then, as I say, I love those. There's a series of articles where I sort of talk about reading. In which there are a range of short articles. It's for about a 30-minute lesson or so, and where you read a short article on topics that really make you think, and things you've sort of forgotten, or things that you didn't know. Tons of interesting little articles, and we read through that and sort of discuss. And often we don't even get to the questions at the end.
Yeah.
I love reading, and whether it's news articles or whatever the case is, doing that kind of thing. And then, of course,
Yeah.
as I say, just the pre-talk on whatever topic, or one can suggest things. So a variety of lessons, and one will keep adding to that as we
Yeah.
go along.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, if anybody today wanted to hear more about those things and take those lessons, please go to Jeremy's profile. It's linked on the campaign page. And then we can go to Pashi. And please feel free to introduce your profile and your lessons a little bit.
Yes, my lessons on Cafetalk, I offer trial lessons which are free, because that is where I get to know you. That's where we get to know each other, and that is where you tell me what you want to learn. Maybe you want to have a conversation, like those conversational lessons. I also have that. I also have reading lessons. I also have proofreading lessons, but it's not actually a lesson. There you can just send me a piece of your writing, and I will I will review it and edit it, fix it where it should be fixed, and everything. I also have this travel lesson where I'm mostly speaking about I'm speaking about South Africa. Anything that you want to know about South Africa, we will get onto that. I also have a part where you create your own lessons. There you just, you just be free. Whatever that you want to learn, you are welcome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so you
then
can just
students can tell you in their trial lesson what they are looking for, and then kind of create their own customized lesson with you together.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Then
most of those.
There we go. So thank you both so much for the time today and for holding your presentations. It was really great to learn about South Africa from you. And I hope everybody in chat who watched us today had fun as well, and you come back for the next one. And go please to check out Pashi's and Jeremy's pages and take some lessons with them. And thank you so much for today, and goodbye.